Hey everybody, welcome to another awesome episode of The Bearded Gamer Show. As always, I am your host with the beard, Chris Arnone. As you see, the beard, it's coming back. We did Movember, we raised some money, but now it's time to get all beardy again. Loving it. All right, guys, good news, bad news. So the first piece of news is really just news. It's not good or bad. Some data has come out of Raptor.com. It's a site I use a lot. They track like your playtime and achievements and whatnot. It's a cool community thing. But they released the most played games for 2011. Number one, you're actually not going to guess. You're going to think, oh, it's got to be Modern Warfare 3, right? No, actually it was Skyrim. And we're talking about time measurement here. Time spent playing. That's where Skyrim is beating out all others. It's also, of course, as you would imagine, the most played RPG. The most played shooter was indeed Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. They had some other statistics. I'll read off a few of them. Most played open world non-RPG game was Batman Arkham City. Most played sports game was FIFA 12. And the most played brand new IP for this year was LA Noire. So lots of good games on there, some information. You can go and Google it and find their entire PDF listing all their statistics from 2011. A lot of pretty cool data on there. All right, some bad news. Now, last episode I was talking about the new 360 dashboard update. Well, there's a whole group of people that are really kind of pissed off about the new dashboard update, and that is some indie developers. Now, indie developers have always felt like they're getting a bit of a shaft on Xbox Live Marketplace, and now they're feeling that even more so. Apparently, from the time you boot up 360 to the home screen to the time you actually get to the top indie download section is 17 button presses. Now, that is the section where a lot of the indie developers, they really love to get. That's where they're really making money. They can be making consistent money for weeks or even months if they can get to that top downloaded section. But no one can see it. Instead of there being a dedicated channel like there was in the old dashboard, it's now just a tile in the game section. And they really don't feel like that's enough. That's on top of all the other issues they've had, like no achievement support, no genre support. Indie is its own genre. They can't create subgenres for indie. They're not supporting the new beacon feature. There's all sorts of issues that they really feel like Microsoft isn't giving the indie developers a lot of support. And that sucks, you know? Indie guys work really hard with that. They don't have these huge, massive budgets or big marketing campaigns that they can do. The best they can do really is to show up on that top downloads list. I think Microsoft needs to do everything they can to support those guys. Now, I understand they got to follow the money, and when you've got big developers, big publishers paying you money to get prime spots on the dashboard, I understand that, but don't screw over the little guy to do it. That's what I've got to say about it. All right, finish up with some good news. Now, this is about Xbox 360 and their new dashboard, believe it or not, but this is about the companion apps. Now, some people may not have heard of these. There's one for the Windows 7 phone. One of my roommates has it, and it's awesome. You can actually control the dashboard from the phone. You can like browse your media, you can play and pause things like movies and music and do all kinds of cool stuff with it. But also, and this one just took me totally by surprise, there's an iOS app called My Xbox Live. I downloaded it from my iPhone 4S, and it's awesome. I was totally shocked. I mean, this is Apple we're talking about, and Microsoft took the time to make an app for it. Now, it's not nearly as comprehensive. I can't do the controls for the media or searches, but I can look at my achievements. I can compare my achievements with my friends. I can see which of my friends are online, things like that. So it was pretty cool, and I have to say it was kind of a nifty added bonus that it makes little Xbox 360 sounds when you're navigating the app. But definitely, if you're on Windows 7 phone or iOS, go pick up those apps to go with your 360. They're completely free, and they're actually really cool. All right, guys, time for the pull list. As every week, it's time to talk about comic books. Yes, I am a comic book nerd. What can I say? I got my start in journalism writing for the now-defunct Wizard magazine. So, as always, go to your local comic book shop on Wednesday. It's New Comic Book Day. Always some cool stuff to go and see and buy. All right, so my recommendations for this week. First off is Avengers X-Sanction #1. This is a 4-part miniseries. Cable is back. We don't know why yet, but for some reason he's decided he needs to destroy the Avengers. Now, this is the first time we've seen him since Second Coming, and so there's a lot of questions that are left unanswered. Why is he back? What is motivating him to try and go after the Avengers? Can he do it? Cable's a very powerful character between his cybernetics, his knowledge of, guns and everything that involves war, and of course his psychic abilities. He's a Summers, they're crazy. And to top it all off, it's the team that brought you that originated Superman Batman, which is Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness, which is just a great combo of writer and artist. So it's great to see them back together again. Go pick up Avengers X-Sanction. All right, next one is Ray #1. Once again, a 4-part miniseries. This whole sort of new DC universe they've got going, well, there's now going to be a new Ray. And his name is Lucian Gates. And he gets the powers of the Ray, of course, but he also has this girlfriend he's trying to keep happy. And this new series looks really cool. Looks like it's taken a nice tone and great art. It also reminds me very much of when Kyle Rayner first got the Green Lantern ring, how he still had this normal life that he was trying to balance with this brand new sort of superhero thing, and slightly similar powers. I mean, it's light-based, whereas Green Lantern, there's a lot more to it, but still. But I really enjoyed Kyle Rayner. I enjoyed that initial story and his build-up as a superhero. Let's just hope that for Lucian Gates, it all goes a little bit better than it did for Kyle Rayner, who has sort of a history of girlfriends dying brutally. So, Lucian, keep that girl alive and hang on to her if you can. All right. Next recommendation is Strain #1. Now, this is once again a miniseries. It's going to be a 9-part miniseries, or this is almost a maxi series at this point. And this is Guillermo del Toro's newest advent into comic books. Now, he's teaming up with novelist Chuck Hogan, who wrote the novels for Strain, and it's being adapted to comics by Eisner winner David Lapham. Now, it's about the Boeing 777 that lands at JFK, and it's harboring some ancient, dark, sort of biological threat. No one's sure why or what it is. And like I said, it's based on these novels, but Del Toro's involved with the adaptation, as is Lapham, and it's just looking like this great sort of cross-section of these great artists coming together to create this for comics. And it's Dark Horse, and I just couldn't pick a better publisher to take on this sort of dark, heavy, evil sort of story. So it looks really cool. Looking very much forward to it. Go pick up Strain #1. All right, last recommendation for this week is Witchblade 150. Now, of course, 150th issue is always going to be a landmark for anything. But this is also going to be the finale to the run that's been done by Ron Mars and Stefan Sajic. Now, they've sort of redefined Witchblade for a while and brought it back up to prominence, and this is going to be the last issue that they will be working on. Not that Witchblade is stopping, but it's simply the last one that this pair is going to be working on. There are also a ton of great alternate covers. The one you see here is a rendition on one of Michael Turner's old covers, so they dug that one out of the broom closet, and it looks fantastic. So definitely, landmark issue, definitely a good time to jump on. End of one huge story, which I'm sure will lead into 151, beginning of something brand new and really cool. All right, so that's enough for comics. Once again, I will always say, go to your local comic book shop. Industry that's really, really struggling, please go and support your local shops and your comic book publishers and pick them up on Wednesday. All right, guys, Nerd TV time. So there's been a lot of distress amongst gamers about the upcoming DMC Devil May Cry reboot from Capcom and Ninja Theory. And most of the worry has come out of the new look that Dante is sporting. It's this close-cropped hair, and it's black, and he looks really young, and yeah, everybody's just not really sure. And personally, I have to agree. I really liked the old Dante design with the long white hair. He just looked like a badass. And now it looks like some little emo teen is doing Dante cosplay. But you know what? I'm going to put that aside. Because if the game looks good, if the game looks great, then I am willing to be excited. And the clip you're seeing played right now is part of a new trailer that they just released called Escape. As you can see, it's really trippy and twisted and weird, and it looks really, really cool. And I have to say, That's what I really want. That's what's most important in a new Devil May Cry game. I've been a fan of the series from the very beginning, played all 4 of the games thus far, and I'm very much looking forward to this new one, so long as it keeps looking like this. I'm willing to put aside the weird, goofy look of the new Dante, if it looks awesome, and more importantly, if it feels and plays like Devil May Cry. Those are the most important things. And from what I can see here, and the parts of the trailer I'm about to play for you, it looks like Ninja Theory's doing a really great job. So this one's called Escape. The one I'm going to play for you now, and I'm going to sign off with, is called The Fight. All right, guys, enjoy the trailer. We'll see you next time.
The police have released footage of the terrorist responsible for the recent attack at the Virility factory. He goes by the name of...
Come on. Cat, they've dragged me into limbo.
The demons are onto us. That camera spotted you. They must have been looking out for you. You'll have to take it out.
I know. And here comes trouble.
I'm not safe here.
Then go.
Dante, you okay?
Yeah, fine.
You need to kill that camera.
Lights out. Never seen that happen before.
The city itself is trying to stop you.
Great.
I found the camera locations for this area. Best avoid them if we can. Follow me.